Welcome back to Canada Specialist Program Series. We are kicking off today with Sonya from Destination Ontario. Sonya, like I said, so lovely to have you back. I'm going to hand over to you.
Thanks so much, Charlie, and thanks to all of you for joining today. It's always a highlight of my year to get to talk to such a highly engaged group of Canada specialists as you all are. My name is Sonya. I am the Business Development Manager at Destination Ontario. And I know some of you have probably heard me speak before. And of course, you all know that Ontario is the home to Toronto, Canada's largest city, as well as Ottawa, our nation's capital, and of course, Niagara Falls. But what you might not know is that Ontario is home to 250,000 lakes, 18,000 kilometers of coastline, and 100,000 kilometers of rivers. So what this means is that when you're in Ontario, you are never far from water. And that's one of the things I love most about Ontario. In fact, the word Ontario comes from an Indigenous word that means sparkling water. So today I want to share some ideas about how your customers can connect with water as they explore Ontario, and that will lead into Holly's presentation as well. Water has always shaped the journey in Ontario. Indigenous people built the first canoes and kayaks, and our waterways became the canoe routes that connected communities, supported trade, and held spiritual significance. Early European explorers and fur traders followed the indigenous routes, and the waterways became central to the development of industry and cities. And today, water is an essential part of living in and exploring Ontario in all four seasons. We all know that water is important for our physical health, but water is important for our mental health as well. I know for me, being near water always calms my busy mind, whether it's in the city or in the wilderness. And there's something about water that seems to make it easy to connect with others as well. Nathan was referencing a FAM that he was recently on with a group of VIP Australian tour operators. They were just here a month ago. We were on the Niagara City Cruises tour on a very warm October day, and there was something so exhilarating about hearing the shrieks of joy from our fellow passengers as the mist hit us all. And by the way, the Niagara City Cruises is actually running until December 31st this year, which is wild. The opening each year depends on the weather, but April is always a safe bet. Now, the falls themselves are unchanging, but the destination is always adding something new. And in August this year, Niagara Parks Commission added a new attraction at Table Rock, where Journey Behind the Falls is, and it's called Niagara Takes Flight. We had a chance to do it on the FAM tour, and it is remarkable. It was filmed using custom-built drones, all new footage. Guests experience the exhilarating sights of Niagara from a perspective that you simply couldn't enjoy or see any other way. It's gondola-style seating, and you feel like you're flying over Niagara, but it even hits your senses with wind and mist and even scent. And there's this dome below your feet. But more than just the ride itself, it's a celebration of the history and the people. So before you even get on the ride, you go through distinctive audio-visual storytelling rooms. Sorry, my slideshow is going to do its own thing now. You go through rooms that talk about Niagara's history, dating back to before the Ice Age. And actually, there's an Indigenous component to these rooms as well. And they worked with local artists to make sure that the creation story of Turtle Island was also included. Now, Toronto blends natural beauty with innovation and culture. It's a city so connected to Lake Ontario. And I find that the waterfront really brings together residents and visitors in public spaces, festivals, and sporting events, including FIFA next June. It's an ideal starting point to immerse yourself in the energy of the city and to discover its global influences in neighborhoods, attractions, and culture. And culinary excellence thrives here with Michelin-starred restaurants elevating the global food scene. The connection between water and food is tangible. Because of our landscape and our climate, we have an abundance of variety. Local chefs draw inspiration from the province's diverse ecosystems and our diverse cultures, crafting dishes from freshwater fish, farm fresh fruits and veggies, local cheeses, all paired with local wines and craft beer, creating a true sense of place. And Toronto and Ottawa both have incredible culinary tours, which are an amazing way to connect with locals. Kingston, where Lake Ontario flows into the St. Lawrence River, is a city deeply connected to water and history. The Thousand Islands offers a spectacular blend of dramatic landscapes and cultural landmarks. You can explore the islands by scenic cruises or soar above them on a helicopter tour. The cruises run from April to November, so that captures spring and fall, and the helicopters run from May to December. Historically, the Rideau Canal and the Ottawa River were pivotal to Ottawa's establishment as Canada's capital city. Today, they're the heartbeat of Ottawa, and visitors are invited to paddle or cruise these waterways. In the spring, many of the gardens that are part of the Canadian Tulip Festival are along the canal. And in the winter, this UNESCO World Heritage Site, Rideau Canal, transforms into the world's largest skating rink. Now, waterways are just part of Ottawa's connection with nature. There are over 800 kilometers of recreational pathways connecting national museums and galleries, plus lively neighborhoods, perfect for cycling and walking. Now, a few weeks ago on the Aussie Fam I mentioned earlier, we did a cycling tour guided by the owner of a local cycling tour company, and we were so fortunate to hear her story about immigrating to Canada and starting this business. It was so interesting because many of us said to each other, oh, it's been many years since we'd been on bicycles. But very quickly, we felt confident and we felt exhilarated. And because the cycling paths are so well separated from cars and pedestrians, you're so safe and secure. For example, we cycled across a bridge with dedicated separated bike lanes. We went over the Ottawa River into Gatineau, Quebec, right to the Canadian Museum of History. We saw the view that you see on top. And the Canadian Museum of History is a must-do for your visitors. They can see the incredible collection of Indigenous items, plus an exhibition that walks you through Canadian history. Across the province, our museums and galleries also speak to the importance of water. Our new Canadian Canoe Museum honors Ontario's enduring connection to the canoe. Since its inception, the museum has prioritized working alongside Indigenous peoples to make sure their story is told. And in galleries across the province, including the Art Gallery of Ontario in Toronto, the McMichael Canadian Art Collection just outside of Toronto, and the National Gallery of Canada in Ottawa, visitors can see artwork inspired by Canada's landscapes and waterways, including the work of our iconic group of 7, and those galleries showcase the diverse art of our Indigenous people as well. As I said earlier, water calms my busy mind. I find it so restorative, and I think that's true for a lot of people. So, what's so wonderful about Ontario is it's easy to combine our iconic cities with our great outdoors. And in these images, you're seeing Muskoka and Algonquin Park. Holly will speak to you about Ontario's Highlands. All are just 90 minutes to 3 hours from Toronto or Ottawa. They all feature beautiful lodges and resorts. Every season brings a different type of magic. In the autumn, these regions transform into a breathtaking canvas of fiery reds, golden yellows, deep oranges. Whether paddling across a serene lake or hiking to scenic lookouts, visitors are immersed in nature's seasonal masterpiece. The landscape is different, but equally special in the spring when the flowers are blooming. Spring is also a great time to see wildlife. The harmony between water and forest is a serene, unforgettable experience that captures the essence of Canada's wilderness at its most vivid. So, Ontario's waterways and our landscapes are more than just scenery. They're living stories of culture, history, and nature. And visitors are invited to connect with the land, the water, our cities, and of course, our welcoming locals. So, thank you again for coming, and I'm going to hand you back over to Charlie now. Thanks so much.
Oh, Sonia, absolutely loved that. Loved that connection, the flow, pun intended, the flow of the cities to nature, that theme of water. Some emoji love coming in for you there. Thank you so
Thank
much. And
you.
that's it, tying in the icons with, these beautiful Ontario landscapes.